We are live. This is the market update. I am your host, Bill Noble. So back. PowerPoint's back. Live TA is back. Michael Saylor is back. New York Financial District coming soon. Want a roadmap in crypto? Turn on notifications. Want the picks for the next leg up? Check out the YouTube member area. Check out Patreon. Now, so that's the YouTube member area. Link down below. Patreon also. When you see the LuxAlgo charts of everything sitting on the discount zone or total 2 and total 3, breaking trend lines by going sideways, 5-way bottoms from the Bill Noble indicator, it's incredible. And of course, I'm starting to push this a lot harder. What happens when the US government or other governments show up at the Bitcoin conference in Vegas? What happens when they roll out the plan? And what happens when there's no liquidity? There is no more Bitcoin. There isn't. I'll show you. There's no more Bitcoin. So what happens when the orange man or whoever shows up at this thing and just bull posts it? I mean, they're going to raise prices. I don't know how smart that is, but I do know if you're going, you should probably get a ticket. Now, obviously, if you have spare money lying around, we would prefer you join the YouTube member area and Patreon, because to say that people have left would be an understatement. Like, everyone is out, and I can prove it. I can prove it. Hedge funds, short. Retail, out. 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 Now, they're all coming back in again. So let's welcome who's here. Let's welcome who's here. By the way, make sure you turn on the notification bell. Get notified when we're going live, because I'm not going to stop. Every other influencer came off the air, and I just kept pounding away. My numbers were pathetic, but I don't care, because all it is evidence that everyone's gone. Bull Runner, wishing us well. The Eagle King. Mike, hello. Grandpa Keeter, let's do it. DC Precise, ready. Bob Marsh, Patriot Caveman, the OGs. Cheapest Bitcoin ever. Are you brain rot? We welcome dissenting opinions on the show. We welcome it. JB from Southern California. Yav is here. The Spartans from Patreon. ETH gathering steam, says Routine Cheese. And Big Rich is in the house. Big Rich is pretty good at buying low and selling high and coming up with awesome ideas for charts, like looking at SUI versus Bitcoin. Again, the Patreon has me and the community brain trust in a Telegram style chat room. Please come join us. Okay, I have news, which of course is all bullish, because it's been all bullish for days. Gavin Busby is here from Virginia. I have PowerPoint with new stuff. I have Gann stuff about the planet Uranus, which helps create bubbles. So we're definitely going to have a Bitcoin bubble in February of next year. The only question is, what does this year look like? I have another Grok roadmap that's very similar to some of the other stuff we've done in the past. So naturally, you want to hang on the edge of your seats and not go anywhere to see the PowerPoint. That and the statistics on hedge fund bearishness. You won't believe what it looks like. It literally is the one chart market update. Now, a brief word on YouTube. First of all, anyone who's been watching the streams, we thank you. Anyone who has remained a customer, we thank you. Now, watch this. So, Bitcoin versus XRP, who came out at the top of the crypto conference? 2.3K views, that's about the top. then 900, then 900, then 1.1. Then we accidentally put a member stream on here. That did okay. And then 671, 793, 774, 711. 400 people gone. Anywhere between 400 and 14 people. Poof. The only people left looking for stuff on YouTube are people who are into XRP. God bless them. Bullish sentiment is probably around 20 to 30%. Bullish sentiment with hedge funds and equities literally is zero. Don't miss the chart. News, let's go. The Fed grossly overestimation of job gains under Brandon continued, showing blah, 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 blah. So there was no job growth for people who lived here. The job growth was all from people from somewhere else. And Govy. Govy is about to go away. 6 million people work for Uncle Sugar. Elon wants to keep 450,000. That's it. You want to mess around with the Tesla dealerships? You're about to find out. Like, no joke. I have it right here. The cemetaries are filled with people that never lived up to their potential. You must get everything you can out of your body, your mind, and your spirit, says Denzel Washington. Don't quit crypto with Bitcoin at 80K. Don't quit crypto. White House narrows tariffs. So first of all, algos trade off tariffs. It's like, oh, it's bullish, it's bearish. In 2017, we did the same thing. Then the Fed printed and the market went up only. You had Tether stablecoin creation. You're going to have stablecoin creation this year because stablecoin companies are an organic buyer of treasuries. So all this nonsense about regulatory clarity and I can't get involved and I don't want to buy, blah, blah, blah. The SEC has dropped every lawsuit. They're bull posting crypto. And the only way there's going to be a consistent bid for treasuries without foreigners buying the bonds is to have stablecoin companies absorb a lot of treasuries. It's going to happen. Just like 2017. But, you know, algos are trading all this stuff. Everyone's freaking out. Imports are 11% of GDP. I don't know why everyone's losing their mind about this. This is a nothing burger for us. However, it's not a nothing burger for the Chinese. Chinese are terrified of Trump. Foreign direct investment in China has imploded. Their manufacturing base has imploded. Their property market has imploded. Their banking system would implode if they weren't indiscriminately printing. Indiscriminately printing. China warns of shocks that exceed expectation from Trump tariffs. So either Trump's got to back off or everybody has to print to make up for it. I mean, the Chinese are going to have to cut down more trees given how much money they're just printing and handing out. Just buy the stock market, buy the property market. It's just nonstop. We're next. Because I don't know how the heck we're going to absorb $9 trillion in treasuries. And if Powell doesn't want to do it, he's going to meet Elon and he's going to do it. And whatever Powell did, we'll go over this too, but whatever Powell did, well, I'm raising my inflation forecast and here's my dot plot. Dude, lower rates. They're going to let 5 million people go. And then the state governments are going to do it. I mean, it's horrible when you think about it. And the only possible hedge is crypto or memes or whatever. Memes could get going again because people are like, oh my God, I got to speculate. I got to gamble. I got to do something. Doing memes is better than doing nothing. With this happening, and again, we'll go through it. They're going to print. Solana ETF approval, 88% chance on Polymarket. Polymarket is 90% accurate per news that I don't have here, but it is 90% accurate. Now, what was the cue that the market was going up? Orange Man on Truth going, I love my meme coin. So he sold the top, and now he's bull posting the bottom. Okay? New loyalty badge member joining today. Thank you. For $4.99, you can get exciting emojis and have so much fun on the stream and get priority on comments. It just is a great way to support the channel. Please support the channel. Also, the YouTube member area, right? Trump's crypto reserve shocks the markets. What's next? Why does anybody think that they're not doing this? Why do people think that? Right? YouTube member area is liking this current market to another year, which is unbelievable because everyone is bearish. Back in that year, everybody was like positive, but was shocked on how much it went up. This year, it could be similar, but everyone is negative. Like, they're not just bearish, they're negative. And they're dug in on it, too. This guy, oh my God. Elon to hold another cabinet meeting, or the orange man to hold another cabinet meeting. What is that meeting going to be about? You know, guys, just kidding. Just kidding on this whole save $1 trillion a year. Just kidding. Yeah. Just kidding. Really? You think so, huh? Now, first he was patriotic and motivated, and now he's angry. It's unbelievable. Doge working 120 hours a week. See, this guy doesn't care. He doesn't care. I mean, he cares about going to Mars. He probably cares about the country. But he doesn't care what he has to do to anybody to get there. He laid off a whole bunch of people at Tesla at the bottom. Indiscriminate layoffs in Austin. Indiscriminate. He laid them off so fast they couldn't get their severance straight. Just gone. He's going to do the same thing here. And he's got the Doge people working 120 hours a week. And if you don't like it, well, you can go in the unemployed pool with everybody else. Ruthless. Meanwhile, back on Wall Street, lost the article. Damn. I love this. Doomberg. What do you see this chart about hedge funds? You want to watch the stream? Stick around for the PowerPoint. Stumbling stock market raises specter of dot-com era reckoning. Like, Doomberg has turned into zero hedge. Literally. $1 billion U.S. levies on Chinese ships risk trade apocalypse. Yeah, okay. We got to rebuild the U.S. shipbuilding industry. But the trade apocalypse? Really? Okay. Okay, boys. The Ruskies. They spent the last 15 years buying all the gold on the planet. I'm sure that's going to work out just fine, but it's not going to prop up their toilet paper currency at all. They only have one business over there, defense. They have oil and defense. That's what they have. They need more than that. They need finance. They need, and they should. And the orange man is right. They're not right for what they did in Eastern Europe by any stretch of the imagination. But the orange man is right to want to have commerce with these guys so that they have an industry other than oil and blowing things up. The next global reserve asset, they have to do it before the orange man does it because there's no supply, and I'll prove it. There is no more Bitcoin. There is no supply. No one wants to sell to anybody big at 80. They hit this thing. They got everyone negative, and they still can't get enough. Michael Saylor can't buy $1 billion. He can't buy $1 billion. Just in case you think sovereigns are on your side, this is a Canadian woman. Okay. Now, they do get healthcare over there for free. So she might have a brain tumor, and her MRI is scheduled for January of next year. Do sovereigns, and this may be because of the number of people that they let into the country, I don't know. Do sovereigns have your interest at heart when a Canadian woman cannot get an MRI for a brain tumor scan? I mean, if you don't hedge yourself with crypto, what are you going to do? Because, you know, the sovereign ineptitude is endless. It's endless. I don't know what the Canadians are going to do with the polls. We may be able to go over that. I think I have that somewhere. Right? What the Polymarket is on the Canadian election. Yeah, here it is. And what's unbelievable is that people want it. So I guess the Liberal Party, I guess that's Trudeau and friends at 55%, and the Conservative Party is at 45%. Now, I don't know how new Canadian patriotism is like favoring into this, because the orange man, you know, is talking about taking them out to the woodshed, these poor people. They actually want more Trudeau or Trudeau lookalikes or whatever it is you want to call those people. They got a 10-point lead. Like, if you don't protect yourself, if you don't get privacy, if you don't get Bitcoin, if you don't get ETH, if you don't get Solana, if you don't get a meme coin, I literally don't care. At this point, I don't care. Give me anything that generates wealth. Anything. Even if it's a meme coin. I have my favorite meme coin, right? It's a privacy coin, but whatever. At this point, get involved in crypto. Get involved at crypto. Okay, I'm going to tell you who else wants to get involved in crypto. Okay. Exclusive core club to Polo Bar, the Medici Crypto Conference in New York City. So this is what Wall Street looks like in the financial district. This is like the Wall Street that I participated in. This is where you would go to hang out, not this. All right. I'm just wondering what they're talking about. They're not talking about getting leveraged short at 85. I guarantee you that. Right. Bunch of like, you know, like the top dogs. That's where the top dogs go. Breaking news from the Eagle King. Fidelity registers Solana fund in Delaware. Solana ETF filings coming up. It's unbelievable. And when you see the Solana analog, you remember the pattern match thing? I rolled that out like 5 days ago. You know, again, it's hard to get people interested. I know people are wrecked. I'm not discounting the fact that people are wrecked. So Ray Dalio, who continues to drool over a debt-based apocalypse, not realizing that when he talks about these things, you know, it winds up on the orange man's desk, on Howard Lutnick's desk, the Treasury Secretary, even Powell. They look at these things and like, this can't happen. What this guy is talking about cannot happen. And the only way it's not going to happen is if you put wealth and control back in the hands of the people and get stablecoin issuers borrowing treasuries. In other words, it's crypto. Dalio recommends a 10 to 15% holding. This is the first guy other than a small portfolio guy talking about anything above like 2 or 3%. And if Dalio says 10 to 15%, you can bet his giant hedge fund Bridgewater has probably got some huge derivatives position to take advantage of Bitcoin blowing through 100. That's probably why the market didn't go down to 70 like all the dimwits thought it would, because he was probably in the derivatives market. Because he's got to be right one way or the other. It's either got to blow up or it's got to go up. That would be Bitcoin. Don't understand why no one understands this. Binance just bought back 250 million Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana in the last hour because there is no more crypto. There's no supply to meet the demand. And we're getting leveraged short. Leveraged short Solana at 135. Leveraged short Bitcoin at 85. Who the hell do you think that was? The market makers who don't have enough crypto. Don't have enough crypto. Futures jump on report orange man tariffs more targeted. Everyone in, everyone out, everyone back in again. Tesla, whoop. Wasn't the vice presidential candidate from the other side trashing the stock? Could be a generational low. Raise your hand if you want to see Ron Paul as Fed chairman. Powell screwed up. Oh, I'm going to raise my inflation forecast. I'm going to embrace stagflation after it's been going on for a year and a half. I've adjusted my forecast. Here's my dot plot. Bro, they're about to fire 5 million people in your backyard. I mean, that's a recipe for that whole area of the country to turn into like Mad Max in 12 months. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. Okay? Look at this. Student loan payments, interest, credit cards. I don't know how this works. People are losing their mind. Okay. If you're one of the over 42 million ballers with student loan debt, now is a good time to check your payment portal. Like, this stuff can happen out of nowhere. Last week, we had a guy who got a notice in the mail that his rent was 90% of his income. Look, you got to reach your full potential as a human. Sovereigns are not interested in that. The only way to deal with all of this negative stuff is crypto. That's it. That is it. You need a new form of money. Now, I understand these people have payments to make, and I get it. Where are they going to get the money from? Blah, 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 blah. If you can hedge yourself, you best do so quickly. Quickly. Okay. Michael Saylor. Before we get to that, Ed Dow's fears a short but deep recession coming. I don't think there's any such thing as a short recession. First of all, recession is an outdated word. It has to do with manufacturing. I don't think that's relevant. But the employment situation is going to be a nightmare. It's going to be a nightmare. And it's going to affect housing. This is the thing that people are not focused on. This is why the Fed is going to be coming in 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, because everybody in Virginia and DC is going to turn in the keys and walk away. 75, 75, 75, 75. You got Bitcoin to 200K. This says nothing about what happens if they crack open the Fed's books, because they are a bunch of dummies. My copy of the Constitution is offended by the Fed's existence. I don't understand what they were doing. What were they thinking? You know what I'm saying? They go in there and find out how much S&P they own, how they've been like levitating NASDAQ. It scares me. It scares me. It really. Like, what do those characters have on their books that we don't know about? What is going to happen if Elon starts talking about Ron Paul? What's going to happen if they go in there and just look at it? They got to be able to go in there and look at their books. They don't have to fire Powell. Leave Powell in the chair. Okay. So again, just in case you think you can say anything you want to say, think again. Apparently, there's been some discovery in the Middle East that, is spooky and, I don't know. There's like something going on with the pyramids. Social media shut them off for talking about it. Why is that? What are sovereigns not telling you? What are they not telling you? You ever heard that saying at Wall Street, where there's one roach, there's a billion? What are they not telling you? You know what they're not telling you? That you got to hedge your whole life with crypto. That if you get off the train, not only is Web 3 wrecked, I looked at some charts, Web 2 is wrecked. Everything in technology is wrecked. Like the AI trade just disappeared. Like it's not happening. But Fartcoin's going up. Like the first coin out of the gate was Fartcoin, issued by an AI agent. Trump bull posting his meme coin at the low. Cynthia Loomis wants to buy 1 million Bitcoin. So they want to buy 200,000 Bitcoin this year. Michael Saylor just crossed 500,000 after buying it for 4 years. How much XRP should a person hold to be safe? Wolf Riot Star. I can tell you what my portfolio is, like the basic part. So it's, I don't know, 40% Bitcoin, 20% XRP, 20% Ethereum, and then I don't include antivirus in the asset allocation. So I just have, it's that simple. And I probably should be adding Solana because Solana is going back to 200, particularly if they stop the inflation and the phone comes out, which again, no one cares about. No one cared about the Bitcoin ETF until they realized it wasn't sell the fact. No one cares about the strategic reserve. They did at 110, but at 80, it was stupid. I have no idea how anybody's going to buy 200,000 Bitcoin. Michael Saylor can't even buy $1 billion, and we'll go over it right now. Hong Kong ETF issuer says China is actively exploring reversing its stance on Bitcoin and crypto. And even if they don't, the people in Hong Kong are just going to indiscriminately buy these things. Chinese investors with money are going to indiscriminately buy this stuff. Now, the good news is their stock market's going up, and then they're going to take the profits and they're going to buy crypto. Now, Michael Saylor. Okay, Bitcoin is the winning strategy. Saylor acquires 6,000 Bitcoin for $500,000. So that looks like a dinky purchase. So your first thought is that Michael Saylor is chicken, that it's going to go lower. Or he can't get the supply. Because what normally happens is market makers will bid it, will buy it, bid it up, and then he comes in and takes it from him at the high. Now he's trying to buy it at the low, but he can't because there's no supply. Binance is trying to buy it so they can sell to him. There is no supply. There's no supply. To B or to BMAX. What's BMAX? An enhanced multi-asset income fund that apparently holds Bitcoin or MicroStrategy or whatever. Everybody needs Bitcoin exposure. That includes people in the stock market. Saylor crosses 500,000 Bitcoin. I have no idea how the U.S. government is going to buy 200,000 per year. Why the hell do you think the Russians and the Chinese are like, oh my God, we better buy this now because we won't be able to get it? Right. Yeah, we'll get to what Bobby's doing later, just in case you think he's kidding. Don't let me forget. MicroStrategy subsidiaries held 500,000 Bitcoin. MicroStrategy trades at roughly 1.8 times the value of the Bitcoin that they hold. So either the stock is too expensive or Bitcoin is too cheap. One or the other. Hedge funds are giga short the stock. BlackRock, insurance companies, and pension funds own it, and they're not selling. So hedge funds versus insurance companies. That's like taking the best college football team and putting it up against even a middle tier NFL team, and they'll lose by 40 points. That's what that is. Hedge funds, hedge funds, they're cool. Yeah, they are. They make money. Good luck fighting the insurance companies because you're short something that no one will ever sell. Cathie Wood to kick off El Salvador's new AI education program. This is so obviously a bottom. Even Cathie Wood gets it. Normally, Nancy Pelosi buys it and sells it to Cathie Wood at the top. Cathie's like, "Oop, I can get it on the bottom." Rich Dad, Poor Dad says Bitcoin has made it easy for people to make money. He's not wrong. I went to 2 different Barnes and Nobles. In the business section, there's not one crypto book. Now, it's probably in technology. I didn't look. There are no books in the business section of the biggest bookstore in the world about crypto. Nothing. So if you want to know how to make money, you want to know how to invest, you can buy Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You can buy Tony Robbins' investment book where he's giving you all these outdated strategies from equities. If you want to know about crypto, you got to watch YouTube. Oh, wait, I forgot. Everybody from YouTube is on the air because it's winter. It's a bear market. It's over. I got nothing to say. Whatever. When it's winter, it's bear market. It's a bottom. And when you got nothing to say, that's when you say the most, no matter who's listening. God bless you people for listening. Please turn on the notification bell. That would help. Billionaire Tim Draper says Bitcoin is going to 250K. We have a very robust Bitcoin target for May. You might want to go to the YouTube member area and check that out. We're going to be doing the revised roadmap very soon. We're just waiting for people to come to their senses about this market. Now, just in case you don't understand, where's the dollar going? Where are interest rates going? Where's government spending going? And where is Bitcoin going? Here it is right here. The one slide market update, 2 slides. The hedge fund slide and the PowerPoint coming up. Mind-boggling. Elon's house, 1,200 square feet. According to Howard Lutnick, Elon's got the furniture that he had in college. So Elon lives a Spartan life. Not shocking. He doesn't care. If you have to work 120 hours a week and then get laid off, he doesn't care. He doesn't. Lutnick says we're going to cut $1 trillion. We're going to balance the budget. Elon's like, no, we're going to cut 80% like Twitter. Lutnick says, dude, calm down. We'll just cut 50%. Elon says, are you with me or against me? Lutnick's talking about cutting $1 trillion per year out. And Elon is like, that's not good enough. Let's fight. Now, luckily for Lutnick, Elon walked away from the meeting to go take care of his kid. Lutnick thought he was, that was the end of the meeting and it was over. And Elon comes back and says, I love this conversation. So at a minimum, they're going to cut $1 trillion a year out. And there's only one way to do that. That's to like close the agencies and just let everybody go. And people think he's kidding. People think the orange man is kidding about all the things he wants to do. Bobby just shut off certain companies from television. 75% of cable TV ads come from one particular industry, and Bobby just shut it off today. Even the IMF gets it. Oh, we better get Bitcoin in here. Oh, yeah, it's digital gold. I know we said we didn't like it, but if we don't get some now, we're going to miss it. All these big entities, they're like, well, how do we get a lot of Bitcoin? I don't know, man. They're going to have to start taking over mining companies. I keep saying that. We're going to look at those stocks later. Solana Co-founder, there is no reason to buy an L2. L1s can be faster. Whatever, man. All I know is we're going to need more than one network. Avalanche up 10% last I looked today. Solana up 7%. ETH above 2,000. The first announcement about a major Wall Street player getting involved in this market on a layer 1 in DeFi or real world assets, this market absolutely fucking smokes higher. Render for Big Rich. My people in Patreon are so loyal. It makes me emotional. Like when people quit, Big Rich stays. And gives me $5 to do a super chat. Okay, so Render, again, to me, it's obvious, right? It's like it was in the discount zone and sat on top of the discount zone. And now equilibrium in Render is at 7. And they couldn't get rid of it. Like, please take my Render at 3. I loved it at 10. Please take it at 3 because I hate it now. And yeah, that's it. That's it. Somebody just said Avalanche, a leader. Here it is in Avalanche. Ready? It's real simple. Wave 1 up, A, B, C, 2 wave down. Next, 3 wave up, right back to 150. Security token functionality, no one wants it. This thing was trading at what? 15? No one wants it. Dead, right? Wrong. So wrong. So wrong. Here we go. Despite the recent Bitcoin 4-hour candle close above 87K, bears continue to call for a bull trap. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's do it real easy. Ready? Bitcoin above the 200-day moving average. So run the stops, run the stops, run the stops, leave it here, get everyone bearish. Whoop. They even had this really nice failure here. That even like freaked me out a little bit. I was like, oh, yeah, failed rally. Whatever. You know, it's just another scare tactic. It's exactly what happened at 20K. This is exactly what happened. Except that happened over a period of months. This happened over a period of a couple of days. Bitcoin sat on equilibrium. What's the problem? What's the problem? There is no problem. That's exactly what they're figuring out right now in tech. NASDAQ futures taking out the 200-day moving average. S&P taking out the 200-day moving average with gusto with a LuxAlgo buy signal. Hello. And I don't know that the money flow ever really got negative. They just corrected the bullish excess. Everyone in, everyone out, everyone back in again. I learned that in 1994. Somebody bought a pizza with 10,000 Bitcoin. Is there anything out there that you might say, gee, I wish I had kept that. I wish I hadn't puked it out. So Larry thinks Bitcoin is going to 700K. And I keep saying 250K, 700K, 400K, I've seen. That was kind of nifty. Can we get someone to pay 90? Because I got news for you. You know, we're just going to like mix live TA in with the news, which, you know, people do like. And by the way, if you do like the stream, please hit the like button. That helps too. As long as joining the YouTube member area, because I'm telling you right now, down here, Toby Ward was like, the only issue is, can we get enough capital to get in and buy more? 89K. Right? Okay. I got Big Rich on the super chat. 89K for Bitcoin to DeMark level, naturally. 13 bottom, failed rally. Take it down to the blow off bottom point, make it look like total garbage. And then if it goes above 89, the next DeMark level is 102. So at 108, it was fantastic. At 78, I hated it. And now you see a 90 print and everyone's going to panic. The Bitcoin was up 2% this morning and Bitcoin was trending on Twitter. What is going to happen if this thing prints 90 and then turns around and prints 100? Metaplanet hires Eric Trump. I know this is 2 days old, but again, Eric Trump, followed by the Orange Man, is the oldest trick in the book. They've been running this play. It's like American football, right? Before American football became a very sophisticated game where they threw the ball a lot. They would throw it through the air when everything was about guys running it, you know? Old-fashioned American football, they would run a play until the defense stopped it. When everything was very simple. Give the ball to a guy who can run, and until they can stop that particular play, you just keep running it. Eric Trump, followed by the Orange Man, same playbook. Except instead of doing it at the top, they did it at the low, just like they did before the election. Somebody doubling down on ETH. New member question about XRP. How much XRP should a person like me holding to be safe? 20% of a large cap portfolio. So not 20% of everything, 20% of whatever you got allocated to large cryptos, which in my mind is Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and XRP, which is the new euro, yen, sterling, and Swiss franc. I mean, there's no other way to say it. Trump administration wants to put State Department handouts, USAID, on the blockchain so people can see it. Does anyone check the price of Move? North Korea has more Bitcoin than Tesla. North Korea has like the third largest Bitcoin reserve. What does this say about the world when North Korea goes out and, you know, even though it was not nice, they go out, they get long any way they can. And they got the third largest Bitcoin reserves. It's embarrassing. Now, most likely the reason no one's talking about it is because Lazarus is going to meet SEAL Team 6. The North Koreans get it. The communists get it. The Russians get it. The Chinese get it. And we're all bearish. This is why I won't come off the air. This is why I won't come off the air. I'm not coming off the air. Coinbase buys Deribit, says Doomberg. SEC earnest about finding workable crypto policy. South Korea investing $20 billion in the United States. They're not investing $20 billion in the United States because of tariffs. They're investing $20 billion in the United States because the orange man told them to. That's why they're doing it. I mean, yeah, he can hold tariffs over their head, but he's not going to do it. But he's telling them to do it. Do it. You know, he could be right. For years, people may have been ripping us off, you know, having our goods blocked and their goods coming here and all of our industrial base going somewhere else. And we don't make anything over here. He could be right about that. He could also be right about the strategic Bitcoin reserve. And who knows, maybe he could be right about his meme coin. If you gave me a choice between meme coins and chronic bearishness, I'll take meme coins. Arthur Hayes says Bitcoin more likely to hit 100K before 76. So this was the guy that had the original call that there was going to be a disappointment trade, and good for him. Great call. Seriously. Like, I was like, okay, well, you know, he's really smart, but I can't see Bitcoin's printing sub 80 in this environment. Can't see it. Well, guess what? He thinks it's going to 110, and naturally, no one believed him about 78. And now no one believes him about this either. Okay, so DeFi Perp, if I can find it. DeFi Perp, like many altcoins, are breaking a LuxAlgo formation by going sideways. Everything looks like this. Altcoin market cap, total market cap, everything looks like this. They just did a quiet, silent breakout by going sideways. I can't believe I'm going to look at Chainlink. I'm going to laugh. Chainlink at $15. And you know what this was down here? I'm going to put up like a 4-hour chart. By the way, if you like the mix between news and live TA, please leave a comment down below. Okay, so what's this? Well, what's this? Looks like a Jesse Livermore accumulation cone to me. On a 4-hour chart. Naturally, they trade like total garbage. All, you know, trade like total garbage like the whole month. And then it's just boom. Right? Boom. Premium zone in Chainlink is at 20 on an intraday chart. On a daily chart, equilibrium is at 20. The premium zone, I can't find the premium zone. Yeah, it's at 30. Why are we all bearish again? Can someone tell me that? Class? Why are we all negative? Why is everyone negative? Everyone is out and negative. It's dangerous. This is combustible. It's just like whoosh. And you can tell, you can see them hesitating this morning. Oh, it's a bull trap. Trap the bulls. No, dummy. You just sold. You could have just sold the bottom of the year. This could be the bottom of the year. Or it's a trading low, like 80, 110, 80, 200. So I don't know. I just got to think if this thing goes back to 120, you're essentially going to reset the range. We're about to reset the range from 80 to 85 to 85 to 95. And then they're going to reset the range again in May from, say, 95 to 125. And they may flip back and forth in that range before you get November up only. And I have a good GAN planetary stuff about November, December, January, February up only, which is why, you know, the guy who's asking, what about XRP? What about Chainlink? What about it? Dude, this is when you got to get it. You get it now, and then the money is in the waiting. right? The money is in the waiting. So an anonymous person gives Cybertrucks to the Vegas police force. Good luck setting those on fire, homie. This guy's he's just not kidding. He's just not kidding. Right? Love the mix of TA and news, says Tussle. FTX releases the huge SOL bag back to retail from mid-February through March. Looks like selling is about done, going up. Dude. Okay, another request for render. I'll do it on DeMark. I mean, it's just simple. It's a 13 bottom followed by a 9 bottom. So it was an end of the trend plus a selling climax. I can't be negative this stuff. I just can't. I mean, if anything, you're confirming these bottoms over the last 3 days. Okay, PowerPoint. Shocking. Shocking. Before we get to that, this is still hilarious that so many indicators point to a recession having started in 2022, but the government wouldn't acknowledge it. This is a great point. Outside of the Virginia area, we've been in a recession for 2 years. If anything, the recession created by inflation could possibly be ending with inflation collapsing and rates going lower, massively lower. Everyone's like, oh, a recession is coming in the media. Dude, what the hell do you think has been going on? All these people on TikTok in tears. It's like they have you so duped here. This comes from my friend Andy. This is hedge fund bullish sentiment. So it has to do with the ratio of what they're long to what they're short, right? So 2021 at the top, twice as long as they are short. Hedge funds have rarely been more bearish. The fundamental ratio decreased to 1.63, a 5-year low in the 0 percentile. You ever have your kid come home? Hey, Dad, look, I did a test in gym. I scored in the 99th percentile. Hey, look, I took my SAT. I'm in the 98th percentile. Hedge fund bullish sentiment is in the 0%, 0 percentile. Everyone in, everyone out, everyone back in again. That's it. That's it. Have a good afternoon. No, I'm kidding. There's a lot more. This is equities. Call your lover. Yup. Hey, honey, I'm ready to go. Bearish sentiment is at 99%. And it's up only. Up only. Because they all got to cover. Now, I'm sure they'll be able to find the supply in equities to cover, but the bounce could be incredible. Like equities are famous for going down and then retracing 76% of the move. So equities go all the way down. And even if it is a bear market, they're going to go all the way back up again. And if stocks do that, excuse me, you're going to wind up at 102 Bitcoin. And I don't know where that puts Web3. Okay, here's the Grok forecast about movements of Uranus and Saturn. Okay? Uranus and Saturn. Okay. Steady increase. Wait, where is it? Okay. So the pullback is in August. Okay. And then 110 in July, pre-planetary move buildup. Okay. November, 145K. Saturn makes a move, potential for new high. December, Neptune makes a move, potential new high. February 2026, peaking near conjunctive date, Aries energy blow off top. Neptune is speculation, and Aries is bold move and institutional adoption. This planetary movement, Uranus and Saturn, keep it simple. Peak volatility. Possible significant price movement up or down. Which way you think it's going to go? Now, you could have wild moves. You could have all the way up. You know, you could have these like 25 to 30% corrections. You probably will. Or if it goes insane up only, it could go down 40% before it resumes. That's the way it was in the particular year that we've been discussing in the YouTube member area. And everyone thinks we're crazy. Like speculation, initiation, significant price movement from Grok. It's like, hey, Grok, I read this in a planetary astrology newsletter. What does it mean? Speculation, initiation, peak volatility. And everyone's out. And of course, peak volatility makes sense because what happens when everybody goes to get back in? Everybody, as in, ready? The Russians, the Chinese, the Americans, MicroStrategy, every corporation, Silicon Valley, Web 2 invests in Web 3. Where's the supply for all this? The FTX Alameda guys, they just distributed the Solana, most likely bought by Galaxy Digital or some related player. And then they're all going to come back into memes. XRP seasonals. So starting on the 22nd of March, XRP can go up an average of 14%. So there was a 22 to 25% move in 2023, a 16% move in 2020 over an 8-day period right at the end of March. Patreon got like the deluxe Easter seasonal thing early. Got them all in at lower prices. Here it is. Bitcoin started long-term rallies 30 days before Good Friday, roughly. Right? Huge moves. The biggest moves were in 2017, and the biggest move was coming off crypto winter in 2019. 100% move in 70 days. You don't think we can see Bitcoin 160 by Bitcoin Vegas? When all the rumor comes out about who's going to be there and what they're going to say? You imagine Michael Saylor leading a panel of the Orange Man's crew? Forget about it. Remember this? The computerized pattern match? So the red is the last 180 days in Bitcoin. The blue is a match from the past. Computer shows it at a 97% match. And this is what Bitcoin did after it did so. This was September of 2024. So it was like up, and then boom, Bitcoin ETF, Ripple ETF, I'm sorry, XRP ETF, Solana ETF, Ripple IPO. Not priced in, not discussed, not talked about, nowhere. Ripple is going to IPO. They're going to. All they need is higher prices, a better stock market. They're just waiting for a better stock market. They're going to do it. And everybody thinks it's a joke. You could have a Solana ETF and a Ripple IPO and an XRP ETF. Because they don't need congressional approval for a Solana ETF. They're just going to be like, what can we do now? What can we do now? Congress will eventually come around when they have to issue $9 trillion in treasuries. Like, whoop, no sugar for us unless we get going. We got to get whatever sugar there is because Elon's going to cut it all. So we'll make a deal. You leave us with some sugar and we'll give you stablecoin legislation. You think it's not going to happen? Like, do you think these people want to meet Elon? They don't. Look at Solana. Do I have to say anything about this? I mean, Solana is straight down. Look at this red line. This is the present. Straight down. Never went up and went straight down. And it looks just like the September post yen carry trade debacle in 2024. Up, retrace. Up, retrace. Boom. Right? This could happen in May. This could happen in November. I don't care when it happens. All I know is Solana at 120 a year from now will be a joke. You'll be like, I can't believe I didn't buy it. It's like Solana at 20. Solana at 120 is like Solana at 20. Because the machines are going to issue AI agent meme coins. They're going to do this whole meme thing or whatever all over again, except it's going to be AI agents. Like Fartcoin has been moving. No one cares. No one cares. ETH. I just can't believe this is so oversold. 95% match. Like ETH is actually supposed to be going up and it was going down. So either this match is no good or ETH's got to snap back. Somebody has to do something on ETH. I just can't believe it's dead. Chainlink, same thing, right? Now, Chainlink may have to do bigger to base to higher in the space. Then again, maybe not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand why after Lazarus Group definitively proved cross-chain trading worked, why Chainlink wouldn't just turn around and go back up. But maybe it's dead for a while before it goes. I don't know. Maybe. But this is like the election trade, right? Like the longer it sat here, the more bearish people got. Benjamin Cohen is one of the smartest guys in the business. Were like all coins were going to zero right here. Sitting out on a park bench doing 6th Street crypto going, it's all over. It's done. And then I realized that as soon as you say that, boom. Everyone is negative, right? Wrong again. Did you ring the notification bell? Sir, I appreciate that. Please join the YouTube member area. Please come visit us in Patreon. There are a lot of people in the free Patreon group. Please come on and visit us because I am going to have more altcoin picks than you can shake a friggin' stick at. And again, honestly, we never got bearish. We never got bearish because even though the market goes down, like when the market goes down in equities, you buy the dip. Seriously, they just all sit around. Like there are stories about, you know, guys who, you know, I don't know, in 2008, when the market went down 40%, guys like taking days off work, like, oh, I got to go. Lehman's bankrupt. The whole world is burning. I got to take a day off. I got to go buy everything. I don't understand it. XRP was below $2. Bitcoin was below 80. And all we did was bull post the whole thing, sat on a podcast and be like, no, we're not doing this. I'm not, no. Now, again, not popular because people are wrecked. I understand that. But, you know, the only way you're going to get not wrecked is to get back in the game. Get back in the game. Right? Okay, folks. YouTube member area, Bitcoin conference. Dude, underselling it. Link down below, QR code. Obviously, spend your money, get in the member area, and then get to the conference. Because I'm telling you right now, that could be like kind of a banana zone blow off top. It's either going to happen at the conference or it's going to happen ahead of the conference. And the conference will be so exciting, you'll be like, oh my God, you'll experience a conference top. But at what level? Much higher than now. Right? Like who was talking about crypto making a new high? Who's talking about ETH going back to 3,000? Who's talking about, you know, Aave at 500? We did that on another stream. Who's talking about Chainlink at 30? Nobody. Absolutely nobody. Okay? All right, people. That's it for today. We will see you tomorrow.